Hey, anime fan, have you read Centuria yet? Because if not, I'm reading it for you today. We're picking up at chapter 15, Borderline. Now, if you're just hearing about this series for the first time, I've covered the last 14 chapters on my page as well, so feel free to go check them out. And as always, read this series for yourself. I cannot stress that enough. Let's dive right in. Chapter 15 picks up amidst Angval's struggle between obeying Elstrie's order and ending the life of a child she'd helped to raise. The opening tagline reads, "Her blade now turns against the very lives she swore to protect." Angval stands over a winded and wounded Julian, holding out her blade in a stationary manner above his shoulders. But she doesn't strike Diana, and Elstrie yells from behind, "What are you waiting for, Angval? Kill her this instant! The future of our king and our country is at stake!" And Guillaume, the knight from last chapter, asks, "Lady Elstrie, why put on a spectacle like this? If you leave it to us soldiers, the deed will be carried out much more swiftly and efficiently." And Elstree just kind of glares wickedly, replying with a sharp, "Silence! I want to test where Angval's loyalty lies, as betrayal of the Supreme Lord is absolutely unforgivable." Guillaume thinks to himself, "She's a complete fanatic." Julian shields Diana as he kneels on the ground, bloody and breathless from the beating he just took at the hands of Angval, and he thinks to himself, "What should I do? What's the right move here?" He glances around, surveying his options. Should I take that prophetess as a hostage? No, the soldiers and the villagers are way too close. If this turns into a duel, I'm certain casualties will be unavoidable. Plus, I can't fight while I'm holding Diana. Julian's eyes land on Marie, Joseph's wife, who looks unsure and distressed. Marie thinks back to a time when she spoke with Julian on her front porch. "You're not sure how to raise a child?" Julian answered, "Yeah, I didn't grow up in a nice home, so I'm not sure I can properly raise Diana. What if I mess up?" Marie had laughed, saying, "So hasty. I think it's fine to worry about things like that as you go along. Just aim to be someone children can proudly look up to. If your heart is sincere, I think that's more than enough." She pointed to the field where Joseph was playing with their child. "Take a look over there." And Joseph lifted the child into the air, saying, "Up you go," to which the child laughed. And Julian smiled, saying, "Looks like they're having fun." Marie answered, "It makes me wonder which one of them's the child. Julian, you know, it's because of you that we're able to make memories like this. Thank you for saving Joseph. You're just fine how you are. I know you'll raise Diana well." And she gives him a pat on the shoulder. Now, back in the present day, we see Marie holding her own child, mirrored with Julian holding Diana tightly. And Marie's child cries out softly as Marie thinks to herself, "Be someone that children can proudly look up to." Joseph notices her stressing out and says, "Marie?" Marie looks up, something akin to desperation in her eyes. "I'm sorry, Joseph." And Joseph exclaims, understanding exactly what she means immediately. And both he and Marie cross the line drawn by Guillaume that would brand them traitors to the Supreme Lord. Guillaume observes them with the knight, saying, "How foolish." As they approach Angval, we get a row of panels of the villagers, Titi, and Elstree all reacting and watching this go down. Joseph and Marie, along with her baby, stand in front of Julian and Diana protectively, and Angval manages to croak out, "Marie? Joseph? Why are you two?" Marie answers firmly, "Julian risks his life to save my husband. That's all the reason I need." More footsteps approach as Guillaume and Elstree watch in shock, and it's revealed to be the boots of Joseph Sr., the master huntsman himself, coming to our boy Julian's aid. The carpenter from the village who helped Julian build his house follows, saying, "She's absolutely right. That's more than enough reason." Titi, Ravenna, the village chief, and the rest of the villagers all simultaneously cross the line, forming a protective barrier in front of Julian and Diana. A confused knight yells, "Who said you could cross the line?" Julian watches on worriedly, as the villagers cry out in unison, "Julian and Diana belong to this village. We won't allow you to harm them anymore." Julian struggles to hold in his tears. Titi places her hand on Angval's arm. "Angval, this has gone far enough, hasn't it?" Angval falls to her knees, defeated, and Titi moves her hands from her arms to her shoulders. "Don't try to bear it all by yourself." The entire village shows support for Engvall, crowding around her protectively. Elstree scoffs, saying, "These damn fools don't understand the gravity of their situation. It appears as if we're going to have to erase this village off the map. Knight Guillaume, slaughter them all." And Guillaume answers, "Understood. Soldiers, draw your weapons." We see Guillaume leading an army of armed knights into battle, as the closing tagline reads, "United they rise, unable to ignore the plight of their fellow man for some uncertain future." Competent side characters for the win, baby! Let's go! First, they clutched up for Joseph. They've clutched up for Julian on numerous occasions by now. And here we see them diffusing the entire conflict between Engvall and Julian and being there for our goats in their time of need. You absolutely love to see it. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's always super refreshing to have a cast of side characters be competent and fulfill their roles well and add to the story instead of just being fodder, completely irrelevant, and just there for basically filler purposes. I love KURAMORI-san's use of each of his characters so far, and I genuinely hope with my whole heart that we get to see more of these villagers in the future. And as I've also stated before, get some names for them, especially Joseph Sr. What a hero. And KURAMORI-san, if you watch any of these videos, you know what to do. Give our boy a name. Aside from that, let me know what y'all thought about this chapter and what you expect from Guillaume and the Knights in the very next chapter. Will Engvall fight Guillaume? Will someone fight Elstree? Will Arcos show up? Tell me all your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. God bless every single one of you guys. Have a wonderful night, and thank you for watching.